to another Techno Happy Hour. Um, I'm not home yet. I got home from Nicaragua yesterday and then we came straight to Austin for the Air Conditioning Contractors of America conference that's happening here in Austin. And so, why, right? The reason for that is because the field AI can really help out in the field service space, where they're, and we'll talk about that. We have a whole presentation that's aligned around the field service and its software and how we use it and tips and tricks. So we'll talk about that in more detail here, but we definitely do have um, a lot to say here. So let me go ahead and start presenting.
It sounds sunny and with a lot of birds.
Oh, you can hear the birds.
Mm-hmm. Yeah, that's
Sorry about
nice.
that.
No worries. I think you have some you have a good background noise, but it's not disturbing on your recording.
Got it. All right. Can you
Mm-hmm.
see my screen?
Yep.
From the
Oh, and did
beginning.
you started it on the 5th? There you go. Okay. So we're live on this last,
All right.
well, this would be our last from the month. Yeah,
For this month, for this module.
next, yeah, for this module, because next month would be April 1st. Maybe we make a joke and someone to someone. Well,
Hmm.
I don't know about
Who are
that.
we gonna fool?
Uh-huh. Mm, let's think about
I
that.
don't think we I don't think we can fool a lot of people.
It's too,
Anyways,
yeah,
let's see.
not in this business.
Our making our vision is to make the world a better place, one solution at a time. We host these sessions every Tuesday from 11:30 to 12:30 Central. We might be a little late. We might be a little long. Depends on the topic. We um, we still have an entire business behind this, so that's why we might be a little later. We might have to cut it short sometimes, um, but we do try to provide all of the information that we can. And this is really meant for you guys to ask us your questions. The presentations and the themes that we have are secondary to helping you guys. So if there are any technical questions, we look at the chats often. We can even bring you on on live as a guest, and you can ask us your question live right over the microphone, um, or we can make an entire topic a conversation around the topics that you have at hand. So this is meant to be for you, the community, the audience, supposed to be interactive. But of course, we can't just sit here and wait for someone to ask a question. So we have these topics prepared for you in advance to create some content and, and add some knowledge. So periodically, we'll check the chat and please let us know anything. It could be about anything. Why is Apple better than Windows?
Are you trying to start the next lawsuit? I was just reading about Google's lawsuits and it doesn't sound fun, but we can talk about that in August.
Let's see.
Yeah.
All right. So last week we talked about some, um, you know, how do you make your business grow? How do you replace yourself with it, right? And so we talk about those 4 steps. The biggest problem to overcome is yourself, right? You have to fix you. You have to understand what you do, your processes, and if you can fix yourself and apply automations and AI into your day to day, then you can. That's a learning experience that you can apply to um, the next process or the process. the before or after process, right? The things that provides you the input and the things that provide you the output. And so, yeah. And then that's your April Fool's right there. The main conclusion: AI is a one-time setup. Once installed, it runs everything. That is not true. That is April Fool's joke right there. It is an ever evolving with you.
I am liking that I'm seeing more content from creators being more aware of how much you actually do need not necessarily a big team, but you're not on your own trying to make everything being handled. And you know how you can always automate, but the automation comes with these a lot of variables that we have been discussing for 3 months now. A lot of your frameworking, how do you do things, what are you giving value to your clients? I mean, all of that is just lots of variables, and a software is a mixed up a lot of variables, and it's a creation, but it it's not a one thing. It's not a one
Right.
solution thing. So yep,
Exactly.
I like
Yeah.
how some creators are just being a little bit more real, um, because I think a lot of people are facing the same issues.
Yeah. And then there's the how to do it portion, right? Because you kind of need to be a developer if you want to do certain things that are not out of the box. That's where we can come in and help, right?
Hmm.
And help that's making it possible. And then we educate you on what we did and how we did it, so that if you have another idea that's the exact same thing, then you can just take what
Hmm.
we've done as a template to apply it to the next one. Um, you know, that's sharing the knowledge. So today we're working on field service management, the services, and then also the software. Um, Really, the key challenge here with field service is missed opportunities, and not having enough data to support that, hey, things are not going in the right direction. Um, the common misconceptions, I'm not sure what that means there, but we'll talk through that. And then as an owner, you need to know your key variables, right? What makes you profitable, what works, what doesn't. We'll go from there.
Hmm. The misconception, we're getting through that, but it's literally just that. It's software versus reality.
Exactly, exactly. Give me 1 second.
So here are some stats. Like we said, a lot of the challenges do come from not having a powered automated system that could literally translate any missed call into an opportunity. Because
Or
for
not having
most of
enough
us,
people to do it.
yes, because for most of us, and you being a customer too, for every time that I don't get an answer, if I want to call, I would literally just go into the next option available or the number that I would want to ring. And so
Exactly,
people
yeah.
just
Even,
just hang up. Hmm.
yeah, even from here with air conditioning, HVAC, um, usually someone calls you when something isn't working the way it should work, right? That's why you provide the service. So it's an emergency for them. If you don't pick up the phone call and get them booked and give them the fastest solution, then they're just going to hang up and call the next person down the list. Um, that is near them, right? They're going to go to Google and be like, I need HVAC services near me. They're going to go look at the reviews, look at, logically, if they're logical folks. If not, they'll just call the first person on the list. And if you don't pick up, they're moving on.
Yep. Yep. So imagine having the scheduling of the job, the dispatching, the invoice, and the tracking of the performance all in a one, and getting paid all in a one
And getting
service
paid
software.
money,
Hmm.
give me some money,
Which
all in one
which is
place,
what
right?
rings the bell. Exactly. Hmm.
Yeah. And so what we're trying, we have a platform that we use and that we vouch for that really streamlines this entire place and has AI stitching and AI call handling assigned to it. Some really
Cool.
futuristic stuff here because you can have
Yeah.
um, I was gonna say a little eerie because it's really good. It's like it's like you're having a conversation with the receptionist and they're setting up your schedule and
Hmm.
they're helping you set all that
It
up.
actually has a
And
name,
what's the
called
name? I
Jessica.
forgot.
It's Jessica.
Yeah. So yeah,
So,
you literally calling Jessica, who is going to answer the phone call, ask you, a few questions of what's going on, and actually work through scheduling your appointment and setting that appointment so that the technician can get out there. Um,
hmm.
that's awesome. Of course, that's not what we're um, we still want that human touch, right? That human touch is going to be able to do it. But let's say you're really busy or it's after hours, right? That human
Hmm.
can't physically be there all the time. So that's where Jessica can be that backup and assist when things are too busy or it's just you're on vacation, or your reception's on vacation, things like that.
Yep.
So what is a management software? So it helps business manage and deploy technicians to the field for those services that are required to be on site. So that's really there's a huge industry here. That's like HVAC, that's plumbing, locksmiths, electrical, garage doors, and home repair, cleaning services, maids. Um, shoot, I would even put in here that IT tech, like IT help service, like if they have to go out to
And the
your
bill.
your
Hmm.
house, yeah, then this applies. It's the same
Yep.
same setup,
Hmm.
and really, it's a management. It's helps you manage that. It collects all the data so you can have it all in one place, and so it streamlines processes. You're able to bill faster and more streamlined to your ledgers, to your accounting, and overall increases efficiency. Which efficiency, if you do it right, is going to make customers very happy, and you look very professional. One of the on the platform and software that we use, it helps actually automate a lot of the services like approvals, renewals. You can even do
Hmm.
MRR or ARR, where you have annual recurring revenues, right? You have those yearly HVAC plans of like, hey, if anything happens to your AC, they'll come out there and fix it. It's part of the service that they do, right? Or they'll do the annual free cleaning and things like that, so you don't have to worry about it anymore.
Hmm.
Or the maintenance service. Um, there's also the effect where you can automate a lot of the marketing stuff, right,
Hmm.
Laura? Like
Hmm.
the customer service, the CSARs.
Yeah. You know what? You just reminded me, and I didn't put it in the presentation. Um, I think a lot of the marketing tasks that are related to the customer journey in such a way that, okay, you just booked your appointment. Okay, we're about to go meet you. Okay, so here is the so and so. All of those tasks are automated. Those are immediate messages that you can be, what would you call it if you like being too much? You can be too much, but you can also, perform these tasks and just be
Yeah,
enough.
just keeping. keeping
keep
an
it,
expectation, right?
yeah, keep it
And I think
under.
that that's the level of quality, you know, quality of
Mm-hmm,
this customer service that you want to provide. And it's
mm-hmm,
touch points, right? Hey, the technician is en route. Hey, the technician is going to be 20 there in 20 minutes. The technician has arrived.
mm-hmm.
His name is so and so. He'll be wearing X thing, so you can identify him, right? So these are things that are very important because these people, if they're not commercial, right, going out to a commercial estate, which should
Mm-hmm.
is still as important. You know,
Yep, with
you
your
can automate
vendor.
that in.
Yeah, this is a
Exactly.
relationship with your vendor.
Is so keeping everybody informed, keeping everybody up to date. Um, it also has the ability, and I don't know if we're going to talk about this.
Mm-hmm,
You will be able to manage and schedule. Look at everybody, all the technician schedule. You'll be able to see when
mm,
they're en route, when they've arrived. Now, when they finish that job, it automates the payment, right? So that whole process is there, or the technician can now upsell while they're there, and you can even have some upsell commissions applied to that, right? So the applied commissions, if the technician that's on the field is upselling, they get some incentive to do so.
mm-hmm. Yep. It's written in the features. So if anyone on the home maintenance and repairs, cleaning services, outdoor and yard, we didn't mention that before. Personal wellness, like you said, on the tech and smart home
Hmm.
services. There you go. Event and specialty services. So you can get very creative with the amount of people that do need to dispatch and serve a client, and it literally would just be very applicable for a software like this.
Exactly, exactly. I just I feel like this is so applicable because it's like it's a service platform. If you
Hmm.
provide any service, it allows you to schedule it, get the right people on board, and then the billing is streamlined. So a lot of people have multiple software or platforms or tabs, and you can get rid of all that into one central place if you're in really in these fields, right? If you're in this field service business or industry, HVAC, plumbing, electrical, um, you can essentially do so much more, and it's a lot cheaper to compared to its competitors. Um, but you'll be able to book. It has a central um, phone system. You can text from there. It's an all-in-one. It's a one-stop shop for everything for these types of businesses, and it's very straightforward to use.
Hmm.
So with that, I you'll be able to book 3 times more jobs, be available 24/7 with an online booking widget that you can put right inside your website. Now, you can leverage the AI tool, the AI human eye into now if they call in, you can have a 24/7 receptionist that's there taking the calls. Now the schedule is all integrated, so now when if all of the technicians are not available, then that day will not be available, or that those slots will not be available for the user to select or for the receptionist to select. So you'll be able to do a little bit more with a few clicks there.
This is
And
where
so it's all,
this is where the easy
go ahead.
communication is built in. The ads, the marketing side, the all of that is on easy
Yeah,
communication because you literally just automate so much of that in one platform.
yeah. So you can see which ads came from where,
Mm-hmm.
which leads came from where.
Yep, and there's also a stats. I think I did put it like the automation of these tedious tasks is just for you to not do it. Like if you add up the compound effect of the amount of work that you do by telling people that you're on their way, you won't believe how much of that is of your time, and it's a lot where people are booking these things on a daily basis.
Absolutely. There's also the reviews. Like once the job, like it's an entire workflow, right? So once the job is done, then there's like that review process where, hey, how did we do, right? And now you have a survey where they can tell you how the service was, things that you can do better, but then also that can be tied in directly to Google reviews. So now it's you're getting those Google reviews immediately after the job is done or shortly after. You're in control of how you want to do that. Now you can get paid. There's no excuse to not get paid, right? The job is
Yeah.
done. They can do online payments. We can have card readers with the technicians. You now with on an iPhone, you can do the tap pay on an iPhone so that um, the the technician can get the payment straight from there. And it's like if you work with contractors, you don't necessarily have to worry about like the contractor taking that information because it would be all from the app. It's all centralized to the app, so the the contractor won't get any of that information. It goes straight through the application.
So start the
So what?
journey, right?
Yeah. What does that look like?
It looks
Yeah,
like
call us.
it looks like we can sit down and just go to the drawing board, right? Again,
Always
having
go
a
to the drawing board.
free AI audit available, it will allow you to just strategize, plan, and execute your growth, and just move on from whatever the old ways were. Um,
Yeah, just
I
change. Rip the
yeah.
band-aid.
Mm-hmm. I can think of situations in which there are some people that are very reluctant to the change of having to use the two platforms. They've just, they have a long way with the exact same things going on a daily basis, but it might be a time to question that.
That's right.
Yep. So to explain a little bit on the misconception is that we we went through some terms right now as far as your booking. And I remember that while on a meeting with a prospect, um, he was telling us his challenges, right? And I'm thinking some of those challenges might not be software related. So anything that comes with the software is it could be an environment gap. So if, for example, you don't know how many technicians you will have available, then you're not able to plan the slots correctly. Then you just need to know the level in which you have a commitment to operate your business in order for it to be a reliable software for you, right? Because if you say that you have one field service provider for one type of specialty in the HVAC, but then you don't have it, oh, you see, that's kind
Right.
of like a big challenge.
You kind of have to have the cart before the horse, right? You have to have everything ready in the live environment with all of the technicians, all of the schedules, um, because then everything's there, right? You need to make sure that the system and the environment is ready um, to sell if you're going to sell that service.
Exactly.
So yeah, and the way you get there is just be strategic, right? Transition in a gradual, in a way that is aligned to the business, and go from there.
Yep.
Yeah, imagine that. You wake up and your whole day is already scheduled for you. You
Mm-hmm.
just open up an app.
The
You open up
dream
your
of every.
calendar.
Yep.
That's awesome. So
Yes.
what does that look like from an owner, right? It's like getting a dispatcher. You don't have to worry about that anymore. I mean, it's there. Um, and that's where admins waste a lot of time scheduling and rebooking. Um, you know, now Jessica's always going to pick up, so you're never going to miss those calls.
Yeah.
And we've done an analysis. It's like 40% of calls get missed completely. They ring longer than 5 seconds. Someone doesn't pick up at all. Um, and you try to call them back, and some might answer, but that's already the risk, right? You've already lost
The phone
that
call.
person.
Mm-hmm.
Yeah. And so Jessica's already trained, and so they'll have all of your existing account data, and so they'll be able to look at your phone calls.
Oh, and you know what? I didn't mention this use case, but I remember the prospect telling us how in his own daily basis, he wasn't able to pick up calls because he was busy with a machine. So
Yeah, he was
this is,
working. He was actually doing the
yeah.
job.
So there are lots of home services field providers also that are doing this on their own. So this is just the right hands.
Exactly. This actually adds a whole new level. It was a complete whole new level upgrade to owner operators, because now you have a lot more for less. You don't have to hire new people. You don't have to have an entire receptionist. Um, you have more control. And as an owner, especially as an owner operator, that's very important. And
So can you
so,
book a demo?
yeah, so last some closing thoughts here is, if you want to know more about the software and the platform that we're talking about, then contact us and we'll book a demo.
Hmm. And like I was saying, this is just about creating the journey for your customer. So will the customer have ongoing maintenance? Will the customer have some service agreements that can be renewed on a yearly basis? So this software is literally just a marketing tool for a well-oiled machine, is the saying. I like, and it literally just builds customer loyalty because you are on top of them and their services.
Exactly. And you'll be able to measure that. That's the beauty of this, is that with the data you'll be able to make better decisions. And that's
Correct.
what a lot of companies are just missing right now, is the ability to measure that information and to be able to make smart decisions based off of that information.
Yep,
That was it. That's all we got.
that's it. That
Oh
was
man.
our HVAC. I think we can, maybe I should have redirected this to all of the posts that we've made for home search.
Yeah, in a way. No, I mean, we're here. We're at the conference, so hopefully we get some, um, people that we can help, and with this platform as well. So let's see what happens, and we'll go from there. So thank you guys for listening. Do we have any chats? Let's see, anything in the chat? Nope. The
Nope.
chat is blank. So yeah, if you want to book a demo, you can email us at info@evdeftech.com, visit our website, or call us at 832-937-9622. QR code on the screen will show you everything, where we are, YouTube, all our socials. Um, so everything's there for you. All righty, guys. This was short. Um, as you can tell, we're tired. It's been a long week. Our summit last week. I just got um, back into the States yesterday and drove all the way over here. I just finished breakfast not too long ago after doing a couple business calls and drank some coffee. So hopefully the coffee will kick in here soon and we'll be back up and running in 100%. Thank you
Yes,
guys.
sir.
Appreciate you. Thank you, Laura.
Okay. Goodbye.
Take care. Bye.